a shadow person, also known as a shadow figure, shadow being, or black mass, is the perception of a patch of shadow as a living humanoid figure, and interpreted as the presence of a spirit or another entity by believers in the supernatural or paranormal. A number of religions, legends, and belief systems describe shadowy spiritual beings or supernatural entities, such as the shades of the underworld and various shadowy creatures, which have for some time been the basis for folklore and ghost stories. In October 2001, Heidi Hollis published her first book on the topic of shadow people. Hollis describes the shadow people as dark silhouettes with human shapes and profiles that flicker in and out of peripheral vision, and claims that people have reported the figures attempting to jump on their chest and choke them. She believes that these figures are negative, a sort of alien being that can be repelled by various means, including invoking the name of Jesus, which is very similar to the exorcism rites in ancient Babylon. But the name that was used to repel them was Adapa. Although the general population describe them as menacing, other believers and paranormal authors do not agree whether shadow people are either evil, helpful, or neutral, and some even speculate that shadow people may be the extra-dimensional inhabitants of another universe. Several physiological and psychological conditions can account for reported experiences of shadow shapes seeming alive. A sleep paralysis sufferer may perceive a shadowy or an indistinct shape. There are many methamphetamine addicts that report appearances of shadow people after long periods of sleep deprivation. A psychiatrist, Jack Potts, suggests that methamphetamine adds a conspiratorial component to the sleep deprivation hallucinations. One of the interviewed subjects had this to say: "You don't see shadow dogs, or shadow birds, or shadow cars. You see shadow people standing in doorways, walking behind you, coming at you on the sidewalk." These hallucinations have been directly compared to the paranormal entities described in folklore. And here we have the elements of a shadow-like legion born in the abyss, and of course the Udug or Utuku, which are an ambiguous class of demons from ancient Babylon, described as either evil, helpful, or neutral, the original shadow people. The information allows me to speak briefly of the allocations of this entity into the Babylonian culture. I will create a full documentary, as the multiplication of it is extensive. In relation to the Shadow Man, it had no position, it had no name. This demon, or demons, were first attributed to, attached to, the stars and the planets, but also to every illness known to humanity, attributed by the doctor, and the doctor in Babylon was known as Azu. And it is from this very point that they begin to be venerated under the medical guise. It would only appear that the modern doctors are explaining, meaning dismissing, these supernatural entities as hallucinations, as if caused by a disorder, when in fact they are attaching them to our psyche. I mean, honestly, what is religion without acceptance? They must all come willingly. Hence the need for the book, and the word that shapes our reality. The dark magicians, John Dee and Agrippa, do tell us that demons are now venerated under the astrological and medical guise. And Isaac Newton's Kybalion tells us that the astrological and medical guise is milk for babes, but the truth is meat for men. Our perception of the world and everything in it changes periodically. It's a kind of magic. The word shapes our reality. If you are looking for further information on our perception of these things, I suggest you read The Werewolves of Ossuary, where we are told, allegedly from a werewolf to a priest, that these figures do not actually shape-shift. In fact, it is human perception that creates their form through our vision. Many of this entity's roles describe it as a shape-shifter, which is connected to the word that shapes our reality. I hope you can agree that it is a very different kind of creator god. Please hit that notification bell to ensure that you are notified of each upload. Share, like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. For more Mythology 7 documentaries.